Today I'm bringing you the second part of this Fate series. A Fate series is essentially me saving some time by reusing the premise of a story for multiple chapters, so to speak, replacing the character you, the listener, are being shipped with. For this Fate series, we are simply going with Brian, then Monty, Freddy, Sun, and Moon in that order. And as a special treat, if every one of these videos reaches 1,500 views before the first 24 hours are gone, I'm going to make a Sun and Moon chapter of this. So if you want that bonus chapter, you better start sharing that video on social media, alright? Well, I hope you enjoy this one, and let's get right into it. How humiliating. Sign duty, followed by a night shift. Just to get the day off on the 25th. Christmas was an interesting time at the Pizza Plex. Fazbear Incorporated loved the holiday, and the money it made them. Understandable. All those financial recoveries followed by hard hits and then slow recoveries again must have been draining their minds. The Fazbear Christmas events, as in multiple events, began with Black Friday, when the various souvenir shops got rare toys from all around the world delivered to it, such as a Samurai Freddy action figure usually only sold in Fazbear Japan, and the German variant of Faz bars that somehow managed to be sweeter than their American counterparts, yet have half the calories. Those were your personal favorite, by the way. After Black Friday, the Christmas decorations were hung up. Slowly, until all of them were hung by the 10th of December. Starting with the atrium, then the lobby, and then going from east to west of the building. The final change before Christmas itself was a special redesign for all animatronics. Yes, even DJ Music Man. The entire celebration would end on the 5th of January, with an additional event on December 31st and the 1st of January. It was the best of times for Fazbear fans. It was the worst of times for Fazbear employees. Not only did you barely survive Black Friday, a giant woman then picked you up as you tried to stop her from entering the souvenir shop as already way too many people were in the store, before throwing you into a group of more people behind her. Luckily, someone had helped you get on your feet, so you weren't that injured. You were shift guard. This meant that you had to adjust to both day and night shifts, and while your work contract had the rule to never do both shifts at once, if you wanted any kind of overtime in the hopes to force a day off, you'd need to do both more often than not. These special days off you worked really hard for were not working on the 25th, the 31st, the 1st of January, and your birthday. Those were the days you definitely wanted off. Thankfully by now, someone at the company respected that, and already in anticipation when making the yearly schedule made you have days off during those days. But also put you on double shifts on their own, which sometimes really screwed with your schedule. What you didn't know in advance were special jobs such as the one you were doing right now. Today, outside, in the cold. Sign duty. This duty entailed standing outside with a co-worker dressed up as a Santa elf, pointing a sign advertising that Freddy Claus was in the building. Of course, Freddy Claus was just Glamrock Freddy dressed in a red cloak, fake beard hanging from his lower jaw, with a hat, listening to what children wanted for Christmas. Mall Santa stuff, really. You felt freezing. The costume wasn't really warm and was quite tight for you. But not in a sexy way, more in a the bigger uniform was already taken by someone else, but this one probably fit kind of way. Ironic. As a child, whenever you brought outfits, you often heard, "You'll grow into it." And now, everything was too tight. Your time outside was a nightmare. The tight elf costume wasn't really insulated at all, but you managed to suffer through it. However, even hours after your night shift had started, you still felt like you were freezing, despite the heat in the building. Maybe you had already gotten sick. Either way, this was going to be a terrible night, unless you figured out a way to deal with this. You were sitting in the security office of Rockstar Row, going through the lost and found inventory. You weren't going to take anything, yet. It was company policy that any item that had been here for over a month could be taken by anyone, and you had set your sights on a portable video game console. You and Brian were practically salivating at the opportunity to be the first to grab it. Just 5 more days. You needed to make sure to get it first. A knocking on the security door almost made you drop the box with the console. Sheepishly, you shoved it back on the shelf before rushing to the door, opening it to be met by Waterpark Monty. That's how his current iteration was called by the employees, at least. His seams had been sealed by rubber, protecting his entire endoskeleton from water, allowing him to be submerged. Really important, as in summer the Plex renovated the basement into a huge swimming area called Gator Swamp.
"Miss Guard?"
asked Monty. He was taller now, didn't fit properly through the door. "What's wrong, big guy?" you asked.
"I was wondering if it maybe be possible for me to be Santa tomorrow."
You deadpanned. Monty had been approaching every human employee, one by one, asking this exact question. You know us guards can't have any influence on that, right?
"Just making sure."
You chuckled. He was so cute. You were about to suggest asking Amir, owner of the Plex, but that would lead to him saying that you recommended it and you really didn't want him to bother your boss in your name.
"So, Miss Night Guard, how is your night going?"
"As usual," you said. "Just really cold." Monty tilted his head. "I was on sign duty today and it was a nightmare. I mean, the wind was punishing. It was freezing outside and..." Your lips quivered. "Some brat said Santa's elves, not fat goblins." "Am I a fat goblin, Monty?" Monty blinked.
"You're not fat, Miss Night Guard."
Monty scratched his chin before opening his jaw as wide as he could. A quiet ticking coming from it.
"Please reach inside, Night Guard."
What? He didn't respond, just knelt down before you, and with an uncomfortable grimace you got on your feet and leaned forward. Somewhere behind his mouth was a small black square with a slit. Is that a mini printer?
"For coupons. For brave kids."
Right. Thankfully his teeth retracted by pressure, meaning they couldn't actually hurt anyone. The springs in them had almost no resistance. Your fingers took hold of the piece of paper he printed out. Quickly you pulled your arm out, and Monty took a step back. Your eyebrows perked up. Huh. A swimming pool pass?
"For one complimentary visit to Gator Swamp, you have 20 minutes until the coupons forfeit."
He pointed at the clock of the security office.
as it only lasts for 1 day. Meaning, well, in 20 minutes the day is over. But once you're inside Gator Swamp, it doesn't matter.
Thank you. But why would I want to swim in ice-cold pool water? Truthfully, you never were inside of Gator Swamp. It just wasn't in your area. You were usually around Rockstar Row, the atrium, and the entrance area. You had no idea what there was outside of maybe a wave pool and a kiddie pool.
The current offering at Gator Swamp is a wave pool, 3 different water slides, a lazy river going around the entire installation, 2 fountains, and a kiddie pool with underwater secured rubber wood debris and rubber crocodiles that float for children to play with. And inside is also a lodge, where we offer a spa experience for adults. We have 4 massage tables available, as well as 2 hot tubs, and a unisex sauna.
Wow, a sauna really sounds nice. Okay, you got me. I'm going. But I don't have a swimsuit with me. Monty scratched a bag on his head.
My apologies, Night Guard. Complimentary swimsuits can only be given out to classified lifeguards and customers with a birthday pass. You are not a classified lifeguard.
You deadpanned. So what do I wear then? The Gator shrugged, and you sighed. Fine, guess I'm going in my birthing suit. Not like anyone is there, right? But while I heat up in the sauna, what about my night guard duties?
I can make sure everyone is in their rooms for you, Miss Night Guard.
Why are you so nice to me? You narrowed your eyes. Let me guess. You're hoping I'm going to convince Amir after all. That's not gonna happen. He took a step back, offended, looking away from you with embarrassment. Ha, I knew it. I'm looking right through you, Monty. Adorable. Almost like a helpless child, he attempted to take away a coupon, knowing fully well that 1. He didn't really mean it, and 2. Even if he wanted to, his programming would prevent him from stealing it from you, as it was technically now considered your property. I'll be going then, you said smugly. You made your way to the basement via the Roxy Raceway elevator. Honestly, you were a little out of breath as well. You had about 5 more minutes to cash in that coupon. The doors of the metal box opened and you were met with quite the sight. The ceiling of the attraction was quite high, about 2/3 of the atrium. The naked rock of the cave was painted, and or covered by metal walls, painted to look like the night sky. With an almost intimidated huff, you inserted the coupon card. The machine aided, and thanked you, allowing you entrance. Realizing the attraction had a customer now, the Monty theme started playing. It had a pleasant echo down here. Using a nearby sign map, you figured out where the so-called lodge was, that the Gator had talked about. It was at the other end of the attraction. Slowly you walked forward. The noise of sloshing water was all around you. Looking up, you couldn't help but be mesmerized at the water's light reflection on the black-colored ceiling. It almost looked like an aurora borealis. Funny enough, looking at an aurora borealis, be it imagery or anything else really, gave you a craving for burgers. The lodge was technically just a facade leading into a large man-made room inside the cavern. It was square-shaped and quite flat as well, but it was decorated to look like a cozy log cabin. The music here was also quite nice. It wasn't the Monty theme, but it kinda fit the aesthetic as well. You took a deep breath. The entire cavern had been quite moist, air-wise, and was pleasantly warm. It really felt like a summer day in a peaceful swamp, or more, summer night, just without mosquitoes. With a smile, you took your clothes off, before entering through a door that had the words Sauna written on it. In here, the music was more quiet. In the middle stood the rock-filled heating unit. Next to it, the bucket with water. Ooh, lavender. Fancy. You spread a towel on a nearby bank and sat down on it. The room was getting hot quickly. Steamy too. Over the next 10 minutes, you continuously showered lavender water onto the hot rocks. The sizzling, the scent of the calming flowers, the odorless sweat covering your body, the heat. It was perfect. Who knew Vesper Entertainment could create such an amazing experience? You leaned back, sighing deeply, happily, as you let go of your inhibitions and stress. However, a different feeling soon made itself known to you. You were getting a little flustered. Damn it, you were at work. Really not the time to even think about that. Maybe it was the fact you weren't wearing a swimsuit and you were in a public place. Well, technically public. Slowly your fingers slid down your tummy. More out of lewd instinct rather than actually wanting to do it. At least until a knock suddenly threw you off guard and you squeaked like a dog toy. And without any invitation, Monty barged into the sauna.
Miss Nightcut!
He stopped mid-sentence, placing both hands on his eyes.
I apologize.
Yeah, it's fine. You crossed your arms over your chest and pressed your legs together. What's up?
The, other animatronics, they're in their rooms. I told them you're sick and needed a nap. They obliged.
Thanks. Oh god. Why were you suddenly having dirty thoughts about this hunk of metal? Oh, and what a hunk he was. You were discovering a really new, strange side of yourself. You shook your head. No, he was a robot and Vesper property. You're so gonna get fired. Not to mention he was a lizard. You swept your brows. What you were about to do was very unprofessional. Hey, Monty? Would you mind sweating with me?
I apologize, Miss Nightguard, but I'm unable to sweat.
Biting your lower lip, you jumped on your feet. Well, you took a few steps forward. Water was already covering his plastic shell. With a hand, you wiped over his chest. It wasn't muscular, but it was molded to appear like it was. This is otherwise.
It's condensation, Miss Nightguard.
Monty, can you give me a massage?
I am programmed in over 300 massage techniques.
You grinned lewdly at the animatronic. Any adult massages? He tilted his head.
don't think I quite follow.
Smugly, you rub your face against his chest before going back to the bench, raising your butt a little as you lie down on it. Don't worry. Just do what I tell you to do.